Hi, Bergs. All right. Fuck, I have a headache.
Money well spent.
Yo, Bergs, thanks for the tier 1 sub, brother. Appreciate that. Yo. Mr. Mix?
Hello? I
Yo.
think you're muted. I see
Um,
you going, but I don't hear anything.
let me see if it's my Discord.
Wait, talk again?
Hello?
Okay, cool. All right. My settings were weird.
Oh, okay.
How's it going?
Money well
Um,
spent.
pretty good, bro. How are you doing? How are the games been since the last session?
Doing all right. They've been ranked games have been fine, but I've been trying a few new champs, trying to, uh, change some things, but it's
Okay.
been going pretty all right.
Okay. Um, oh, wait, real quick. Gary, thanks for the Prime sub, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I
Um,
have a question real quick.
yeah, sure.
So I know the league community, they like perpetuate a lot of things that aren't true,
Oh, yeah.
but like I've heard, when people say like uh they say like their account LP is fucked. Like, is that a real thing?
When they say that, it just means that they're just getting low LP gains because their MMR is messed up. So, like, no, it's not like. So, LP is kind of like a fake thing. It's like, it's just there to kind of make you feel good for, like, when your MMR is going up. So, like, all that matters really is your MMR.
Yeah, that's what I meant. MMR, not LP.
Yeah, your MMR can't be messed up. That just means, like, where your rating is. So, like,
Okay.
if you're getting
So
low
like
gains, if you're getting plus 13, it means, yeah, your MMR is lower than what your actual rank is.
yeah, because like I'm getting like plus 13. Like I won a game and lost a game. I got plus 13 and then minus 19.
Yeah, it's
And I
because
didn't
you're
know if that was like normal.
it's because you're in silver 4, and like if I go to your, so I'll share screen with you real fast. So you see how you're in silver 4, but this game average was bronze 1. So like the average here was lower than your actual rank, so you're not going to get good LP for this. Does that make sense?
Hold on, say that again.
So your rank is silver 4, but the average of this game is bronze 1, meaning that average of that game is lower than your actual rank, so you're going to get low LP gains for this.
Okay. All right.
So, and like
So then why did I get the minus 19? Which was the game I think right after.
right after,
Yeah,
so this one?
I won. I got 13. Yeah,
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 so
7 and 8.
it's because the game thinks that your like you're it's because the game has your MMR lower than, like, we can't see your actual MMR. So like this
Yeah,
isn't your MMR, this tier average thing. That's just the average of the game. But like we can't see your actual MMR. But we can see here. Oh wait, you're playing a lot of normals. Let me go back to this. So we can see here you're getting put in a lot of bronze games. Bronze 1, bronze 1, bronze 1. So yeah, the game just thinks your rank is slightly lower than what it actually is. And it's because like when you get to the silver 4 rank or like gold 4, any 4, and you get to 0 LP, since they have this demotion protection, people think, oh, well, I'm at 0 LP, it's fine, I lose, but it's not. That's like what starts to happen. Every time you
yeah,
lose when you're at 0, your MMR is still going down.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
cool. All right. So, what are we going to be looking at today?
All right. So I have a Swain game. I've been thinking of picking up Swain because I played him. I tried him again since his rework, and I
Hmm.
really liked him.
Okay.
Uh, I'm kind of, I don't know, like I've been doing a lot of normals. 'Cause I've just been trying to play Swain, but yeah, I really liked him, and I thought it'd be a good pickup because, um, see, I don't know. I feel like my uh with 12.10 with the durability changes, I feel like my pool is gonna be fucked because I play Lux, Ari, Vex, and like they're all burst champions. And I heard burst is gonna get a pretty big nerf in a way.
Yeah, well,
But champs like Leandri's, like Swain, Victor, uh, like Brand, like they'd be doing pretty good. So that's why I've been trying Swain a bit.
okay. Well, first things first. You never have to worry about your champion pool, quote unquote, like being messed up or something like that. Like any champ you want is totally 150% viable at any on any patch at any time. Like balance, like champions, no matter how bad or good they are, when you're below challenger, it really just doesn't matter because there's so many other factors involved. Too many other ones for it to be champion strength. So like your champions will be totally fine. Ari, Vex, all of those, they'll all be totally fine. You might like change your build to be more optimal, but you'll be fine. So
Okay.
yeah, don't worry
Because
about that.
I was thinking about changing anyways, because like my main two definitely are Lux and Viego, but then like Vex has been kind of like I've been kind of falling out of favor with her, so I was thinking of like swapping her for like a Vayne or not Vayne, Swain, or like I've been trying Ari too, but I don't think Ari really clicked with me all that well. So
Um, well, Swain's a great champ, especially with his changes. He's really good. All right. So tell me about this game. It's just you just want me to kind of go through it and give you Swain stuff and just general stuff.
yeah, mostly like laning stuff because when we did our last session, like a big focus of it was laning.
Hmm.
And I think I got a lot better on my laning through that Viego game and like between then and now.
Okay.
I think I improved. I just want to see like how much I improved. There should be more I should do. I think the one thing you will notice, I have been kind of struggling with using potions in fights. Like
Hmm.
I try to force myself to think about it, but like sometimes if like a gank or something, I'll forget to pop it. But it's definitely something I try to just like shove in my head.
Well, after it happens, are you noticing like, oh, I forgot to use my pot?
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. That's all
a
that
lot of times I
matters.
use pot like right after the fight because like I'll notice
That's that's
or I'll do it. Yeah.
that's good. As long as your brain is recognizing, oh, I forgot, it will kick in. It will
Yeah.
eventually start to kick in. It's just as long as because if you're going through the game and you don't recognize that, then it will never fix itself. But if you're recognizing it, then it will fix itself. So that's good.
Yeah, Zay, my goal is like to never go back to base with any pots left.
Yeah,
Like I try to use them all before I go back.
that's a good way to do it. Yeah. Um. Okay. So yeah, let's go through this. Is this a ranked game or a normal game?
Yeah, it's a ranked game.
Good. Okay. So right off the bat, tell me what we're doing here.
Just kind of, I don't know, just in lane, just
Right.
waiting for the minions to go down so I can.
Right.
Uh,
That's the problem.
yeah,
There's a whole lot of nothing going on. So that should never be the case. There's a lot of different things you should be doing right now. I win lane in low elo, so like diamond, platinum, and below in the first three levels, 90% of the games, because these are the most important parts of the lane. This sets the tone for everything. So first off, we got to talk about mana regen. Remember, every champ has mana regen. So when you're sitting at 468 out of 468, that's essentially wasting mana because you're not regenning anything. So on any champ that you play that has mana, you want to try to throw out your ability right off. Like whenever you're full mana, you want to throw something out and try to land it. So that's first thing.
okay.
Second thing, and this is another really big one. Level 1, whoever wins level 1, and that doesn't necessarily mean win as in like out trade, but whoever wins level 1 through either pushing the wave or out trading them is going to control the lane for at least the first three levels. Because they're the ones that are going to be pushing, meaning if they're pushing, they get level 2 first, they get level 3 first. So a level 2 champ will never lose to a level 1 champ. Level 3 champ will never lose to level 2 champ. So that's one of your goals in any lane. trying to get level 2 first. Well, in almost any lane, I'm going to have to generalize a bit here because there's exceptions where it's like, okay, let's say you're playing, any melee like Viego or Zed or whatever versus a range champ, you're not going to force level 2 first because you're going to take too much damage trying to do it. You should. But for this lesson, when you're walking into lane, you should be auto attacking minions like right off the bat because you should be trying to hit level 2 before them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you should be doing here is walking up, trying to land E on Zyra, and auto attacking minions.
Okay. So I should just like be really aggressive right off the bat.
Well, it's not about aggressive.
Money well spent.
So that's kind of the next concept we can go into here. Let me open up the Epic Pen. That's not it. So this next concept, which I can actually show through. Let me open up something I'm going to show you. I'm against Swain. One sec. This next concept is one that you will be working on forever. Like the ceiling, the skill ceiling on this concept is infinite. Like the best players in the world are constantly practicing a concept like this. So let me just open it up and find this game where I was playing Sivir. Here it is. Okay. So let me bring this over. You can see this, right?
Yep.
Cool. So, oh no, where'd I go? Where's this Sivir game? Shit. Where was it? Pain. Oh, okay, here it is. Cool. So in this game right here, I'm playing Sivir versus Swain in mid. And this, I'm going to show you what, like, so watch the difference. So, okay, so Swain I know is going to be starting E. So first of all, the way I'm moving right now, the way I'm clicking, there's a reason for all of it. There's no reason. Like, so you are just clicking back and forth here. I don't think you have a reason. You're just clicking back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Me, I'm clicking back and forth like this because I'm moving into Swain's E range, the maximum range of his E, and then out of it constantly because I'm trying to make him use it. But if I'm doing this properly, I'll bait it out and he'll miss. So like you see how the further he goes, he moved back, I moved forward, but I'm still keeping that same distance from him. Because I'm trying to get him to use it. And then he walks forward like this. Look, now I'm backing away.
Yeah.
And then look what happens. So because he should start E, but he didn't. He used Q. But I'm spacing like for both of them. And I'm no matter which one he uses here, I'll be at the very edge of the range. And you see here, because of this good space and because of this little click here, this micro click of me walking towards him just for for a really, really small amount of time, baited him into thinking he's going to hit me with it. So watch closely. So you see my mouse I'm moving up to click right here.
Yep.
I click and then I'm preemptively clicking backwards. I'm not reacting to what he's going to do. I'm just trying to make him think I'm walking towards him.
Yeah,
but,
you're like baiting the turnaround. So like it looks like it turns around for a sec, but then immediately goes back.
Mm-hmm. And the whole thing here is there's never going to be a time, like in low elo, everyone's sitting like back here like this, like you're all the way back here and Zyra's over here. You guys are nowhere near each other's range. But me, I'm trying to be at their maximum range at all times because the more they use, so think about it, as soon as he uses his Q, now he has no ability, he wasted the mana, and now I have a window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can see here that micro click and then backwards, boom. Yeah. Literally right on the edge. This is very difficult, but it comes with time and practice. And it's super important. This is like one of the most important things in laning phase. So if you're ever just standing there doing nothing, there's an issue. And you could be thinking, okay, wait, this is a good time for me to maybe try to bait out an ability. So let me go test it.
Is that just like a knowledge gap though, where it's like knowing how far the range is and like how to bait is that because like obviously like I don't know the exact
Right.
range for like a Zyra E. So
Yeah.
like I just have to kind of like over time as I've run into her more and more, you just kind of figure it out. Like
Yep.
okay,
Yeah. Sadly, that's the only way. Yeah, it's just like from playing.
yeah,
But when you are trying to do something like this, let's say I tried to do this and I just barely got hit, like right there. Now I'm paying attention to the ranges. So you will learn very fast because now you're actually going to be paying attention for this concept. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Instead of just
yeah.
kind of going through the motions. But yeah, so we might actually look at this. So we'll just leave it there. All right. So yeah, now that we know that you're kind of just sitting back here doing nothing and this is wrong, the next thing is like this is a fundamental to laning. You see how these two low minions, they were both 1 HP?
Yeah.
When you're going to use an ability, you should never just be throwing skill shots randomly in lane. The only time where you could do that is like at level 1 when you have full mana and you're just trying to throw it out to make use of mana regen. But otherwise, you want to be doing it when they go for last hits because that is going to make them stand still and they're going to be autoing that. So while they're doing that, that gives you a better chance of landing your ability and it makes it hard for them to trade back at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a fundamental that will apply to any lane, and if you don't do it, you can never be successful in lane. So you want to start implementing that right away.
Okay.
Okay, so right here for Swain, this is a Swain thing. Swain's E is kind of weird because if let's say you threw your E right now, let's say you threw your E and she took a step back to like right here. Your E would go to like right here, and let's say these minions aren't here. It's just you and her, and you throw it, and she takes a step back. It will miss right now. But because the minions are there, it would grab this one, like it would hit this one, and then it extends the hitbox of it or something. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it would grab her, even if she's out of range just slightly. So
Yeah, it took me a bit because I thought that you could only destroy her plants through auto attacks, but then halfway through the game, I realized you can do it through abilities. So like, it probably would have helped.
well, yeah, the plant's not really relevant here though. It's just
Oh, okay.
it's all about Swain's E, and like when you see someone standing next to their wave like this at like max range of your E, that's like the best
Yeah, you
time to throw it.
out. Yeah.
So yeah, you wanted to throw it there. Okay, so she started E. Now that she has no ability.
Yeah, I hate that range because the animation looks like it goes on way longer than the hitbox.
Yeah, it looks like
Like
it
it
goes.
feels like that should have hit me, but
Yeah.
it like
It stops right here.
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
So
but yeah, just the VFX or whatever it makes it look longer.
yeah, I don't know why it's like that. It's just it's a small company. You know, they don't have much money.
Yeah.
But so now that she has no E, this is another fundamental lane. You know, playing around cooldowns. This is when you really want to try to land something. So what you should be thinking here is, okay, her E's down for. See, I don't even know Zyra's equaled on that much. I believe it's like, I want to say 8 or 11 or something like that. But point is, you have a long window here when she's going for these. That's when you're looking. So you want to put yourself at a range where, so for her to auto attack that, she needs to walk up to like right here. Your E, to hit her, you need to be right there. So that is where you want to be sitting, floating right here. So when she does walk up for that, you're already in position to punish her. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, looks like you're kind of doing it right here. This is good. But it might not be for the reason that we want. Okay, here we go. Perfect. She is behind. So your E goes a little bit further than this. It'll go to right there. But she's on a minion, which is perfect. So, and she's walking up, it looks like, to get... Wow, her name is Hard and Thorny. God damn it. Okay, so this is like a perfect time to throw your E. So, but she just got both last hits for free. You see why that's a big issue?
Yeah.
So she had no ability to trade back with. You've had full mana for 45 seconds. And she hasn't taken any damage or anything. And we haven't pushed for level 2, nothing. Okay. So now you're level 2 and she's level 2. Because this is normal. This is what low laning kind of looks like a lot of the time. It's just both players kind of doing nothing. She's trying to hit you with E. But notice here that like Zyra, well, she might have been, probably not, but no, she definitely wasn't. So she's also just throwing abilities out randomly, not when you're going for CS. So it's going to be hard for her to hit you. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. Like, it doesn't matter how, like, if I'm playing against a low elo player and I try to just throw my skill shots randomly at them when they're not going for CS, it's going to be a lot harder to hit it. It doesn't matter if you're a professional player or whatever. That's why this concept is so important. So it's also going to be hard for her to hit you because she's not doing it either. And that's why you can abuse this in these games. So like right now, she has no E, low CS right there. You could walk up, you put yourself right here. She will have to put herself here to auto that. And then you can clip the wave and her at the same time. Boom, free. There it is. Okay, so cool. We can look at this. You actually went for something here. Now, your problem was though, look at where your mouse is right now.
Yeah.
So, and a really important part of this game with skill shots is to not get into this habit of like, I don't even know how to explain what this is because I used to do it a little bit. But try to actually put your mouse literally where you want that ability to go, not in the direction. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I tend to do it like a little past the direction I want to do.
Yeah. And you can see here, this looks like it's behind her, right? But it's not really. It's going to make you shoot it out like this. Or, whoops, I can't draw this fucking straight line. But, like, that's not the angle we want here. The angle we want here is, like, that. That's a totally different angle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely see it now.
Yeah.
Why it went the direction it did.
Mm-hmm. Because it can be deceiving. Because, like...
Yeah, because it looks like, from the camera angle, it looks like it's, like, right behind her. But in reality, it's, like, a little bit to the left of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it should be, like, right under her feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would land. Okay.
Yeah, because, like, look where it went because of that. You see how, like...
Yeah, it went, like, yeah, towards the minions and not her.
Yeah, I went like this when she was standing here. So yeah, try to like the rule of thumb a lot of people use is try to put your mouse under their feet. Okay. So you can try to do that. This is a big issue right here. So tell me what the issue is right now. Just if I'm looking at this screen, what's the problem with what I'm seeing?
The minions are all. Is it the health bars and the minions are all kind of out of whack?
Money.
No, it's way more simple than that. Actually, there's two big issues here.
Please
using
step
an ability
on me and give me a smack.
Dope man, thanks for the tier 3, brother. 24 months, you're a real one. Okay, so using ability is the first one because what's the reason behind using this Q right now?
Just to, I don't know, just to clear the minions faster.
Okay, so why do you want to clear the minions faster?
So the wave can get back to normal.
What does normal mean?
Like even.
Even. So why do you want the wave even?
I mean,
it's okay if you don't know. This is
just like regular. I don't know. It's like my instincts, like just it's because I'm not really too good at like wave management and all that. I just know like I know the very basics, but I'm not good at like executing it a lot of times. So a lot of times I just try to keep it like even or like if it's like towards me or towards my tower, like keep it there. But like I don't do a lot of like advanced tactics all that much. But.
Yeah. So the reason why I just kept going with that, asking you like over like to get deeper and deeper, is because it helps me understand what you're thinking, and it helps you understand or like show you that what you're doing here has no real reason. And that's the whole point. So there's a few things we can talk about here, and we'll get into that in a sec. So that's the first one, and we'll get into why it was into all that, using this ability. What's the second big problem here, though?
Zyra's out of vision.
Right. So, like, what if Zyra was right here? Or right here? Or in any of this area?
Yeah,
right?
You wouldn't see her.
You can't see her. So, like, this is a big issue in a lot of... This is why it's good that you submitted... Or, like, the benefit of submitting a game where it's your point of view and you record it. Because I can see your screen. Like, your screen, I don't know... I think we talked about this. I don't think you play locked camera, right?
No, I hold my thumb down on the space bar, and that centers my camera.
Okay.
But then whenever I need to like move it, I just let go of the space bar.
Okay. So what you want to be doing, so we can actually just pull up my VOD so you can see the difference. So what you want to be doing is putting your camera in a spot, and then you'll be leaving it there a lot of the time, but then I'll slightly move it when the lane position changes. But you'll never see my screen in a spot where I can potentially not see them if they're here on my screen. And look, notice how when I'm moving back like this, I'm still not moving my screen because I've already moved it to a spot where like it's gonna be fine here for a while based off of where we are. Even when I run all the way down to the edge like this, look, I'm still not moving it. I don't have to because we're gonna be going forward in this lane. I have 3 minions. That's a little bit more advanced, but point is, your screen positioning in lane is very, very important. Because if that
So
Zyra,
what do you use to jerk your camera back to your
spacebar,
character? Because like
spacebar.
spacebar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering because I didn't show the little arrow thing. I didn't know if it was something different.
Oh, I think I have that turned off. That's why.
Okay.
The arrow part. But anyway, so yeah, like you should never be having your camera should never be in a spot where you actually just straight up can't see the other person if they were right in front of you. She could be right there, and then if she is there and you don't see her, she lands her E, she lands her Q, you lose half HP easily.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep going. There we go. Now we're moving it a little bit. Still not far enough. It should be so like your camera should be. If we want to cut off with a line, it should be like that basically.
Okay.
Because then
yeah,
you could see
like,
everything.
Move it towards so you can see the brush.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because like, look, she could just be sitting right there. You have no idea.
Yeah.
She actually is right there. See?
Yeah.
So, we can talk about this here. So let's say she's walking up like this, and you go to throw your E and Q. Do you think that would be a good trade for you or a bad trade if you land it?
I feel like it might. I don't know. Could it be even? Because like, is it just a bad trade for me?
Well, you tell me. So, what if it would be even or if it would be bad? Why would it be bad? How would you lose it?
Because probably her plant would poke me out and do more damage than my E and Q.
You actually do more damage than her plants. So the thing is like, look at this. You see how where you're standing, her wave will aggro you. Your wave won't aggro her. Look at the distance between her and your wave and you and her wave.
Yeah, so I'd get all the minion aggro alongside her stuff. So it just
right.
Yeah.
So if she knew what she was doing, all she really has to do here is if you walk up, even if you're not going for a trade here, you just standing here is way out of position and you're punishable.
And just auto me, and then
she can just lock you in place with E. If you try to turn and trade with her, you're gonna lose really hard because of all these minions. So she get all in here. Like there's a world you die here if you don't respect this enough.
Yeah.
So
I've been trying that because I watched a video and they pointed out that the minion aggro on auto. So like if somebody tower dives you, just let them auto you once and then go in on them instead of immediately going in on them. So.
Well, the thing is, remember, abilities also can give minion aggro depending on if they're AoE or if they're like targeted. So for Swain's E, I actually don't know, like with this change, what if it will, like the second part, where you pull them. I don't know if that will count as targeted or not for right now.
I don't think it does damage, so I don't think it targets. But I think the first part would.
I don't even think it has to do. Yeah, it doesn't have to do damage. It's just if you target someone with an ability.
Oh.
Because I think Lulu's W gives minion aggro. But anyway. So yeah, any target ability like Lulu W, Annie Q, or autos, yeah, those all give minion aggro. So yeah, you don't want to be this far, and this is why it's so important to be the one pushing the lane. And that actually brings us back to we needed to go a little bit deeper into this part where you were using a Q and like you were saying you want to get the wave to even, all that stuff. So because you lost level 1, because you weren't doing anything, and she got the push advantage. When this happens, you can't just use abilities and try to get it back in your favor. You will run out of mana trying to do that. So what you have to do in the early levels is you need to let the wave push all the way in and crash on the tower. Then it will start slow pushing back the other way, and then it's your turn. You can think of it as a turn-based thing. So whoever wins level 1, it's their turn where they're going to be stronger than you for the first 3 levels until it crashes. And then it starts pushing back to them, and then you start getting the minion advantage because you're slow pushing, and then it's your turn until you crash it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that is what should happen. Because also, like, not only will you run out of mana trying to do this, like, see, you just use Q there. If she's here, now she has a 5-second window to punish you. You see? So, like, it's not a viable strategy to just use your abilities to try to get the wave pushing the other way. This early on, you have to, every ability is so important that you have to just let the wave crash and let the tower do it. Later on in the game, of course, level 8, level 9, and you have all this mana and low cooldowns, it's a completely different story. But, yeah. Okay? So she used that. So right here, this is that perfect, like, optimal range where your E will, like, 100% hit her no matter what she tries to do. It's like...
Yeah, I think I throw it out, but I don't remember for sure.
Let's see. No. So...
No.
Because, like, when she's right here, your E won't go to right. It won't go to here.
It'll go to that first minion.
Yeah, it'll go
like the
right
one
in this.
next to her. Yeah.
It'll go right in that little pocket. So it's gonna hit like anything in this area.
Okay.
Because of like how it extends, or how like it just gets bigger when it in situations like that. So yeah, that would have been a perfect time to use it because she just missed her ability as well. Okay, she's going for cannon. You know they want that cannon. This is where you can look for something. Her E is down.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can kind of see here how it's basically going to be the same concept over and over, where it's just, there's nothing really happening. It's just you kind of just letting her do what she wants and you're just kind of clicking around. And then like, so here we go. So you went for a trade here. So it's basically going to have to look at every trade you go for. So here, notice this is like maximum Swain E range, but she's not near any minions. She's not going for any CS. She's not doing anything but just walking at you. This will be very hard to hit, no matter who you are. So that's why this is going to, look, see? Just barely misses.
Yeah.
If those minions were there, even though she's out of range, it would have grabbed her. So that's why you mainly want to wait for them to go near minions. Okay, so you got to back up. So right here, what you're doing is like, you never want to be... Wait, are you going to click forward? No, okay. So like when your wave's dying like this, you don't want to walk up. Like right here, if her E is up, you can die right now.
Yeah.
Because those minions are going to die, all of these are going to aggro you, and you're just going to get killed. So like, don't worry about killing the plant. Even this is dangerous. If she like flash E'd you here, this wave walks up, and now you're taking a lot of damage. Like you could die here too. Potion we want to use already. This, none of this. I think you're about to Q this whole thing, which won't be too good. But yeah, so you did this, and note you see these little shots coming at you.
Yeah, aggro.
So let's see how much damage they do, real quick. You never want to walk up into a wave like this. So you have 467. Let's just see how much damage they do.
Money well spent.
Okay, so they did... Wait.
About 15.
Good
damage?
to see you.
They had 2 more had to hit
are
you.
doing well.
So they did about 20... Like 20... We can just round it to 25.
Like that.
Yeah, we just round it to 25. So 25 damage up, and like 25 damage for just a split second of minion aggro is actually a lot this early in the game. So imagine if there's a few more minions there, and then you're taking 50 instead. Like it will add up so fast. So you never want to be walking up to to a wave that's looking for targets. Also, the way you use your Q, notice you can't get any of these CS now. You like ruined all the CS with your Q.
Yeah, because it threw all the HP values out of whack.
So you just want to let that crash. And okay, so this, I understand why you did this, but it's not good because this is a 22-second cooldown, and it's a really important part of your like rotation.
Oh,
Um,
I read that you're supposed to, or uh, oftentimes you should use it for just vision, like around the map. So like checking drag or like checking like top or whatever. Like
yeah,
just use it wherever you think people might be. Just like throw a W out and like see if they're there or not.
yeah. So this is like the problem with like just like reading stuff like that is like, yeah, it's a good tool for vision, but not at level 4 when it's an important part of your trading tools. So like later on in the game, or even like at level 8 or 9 or something, and like there's nobody, and you don't know where people are. Maybe you can scout with it, but at this specific moment, you either need that to hard push the wave fast so you can reset if Zyra's resetting, or if she's still here, to trade with her if you land your E. Because remember now, look, remember that thing we just talked about? The wave is now off the tower. Okay, so now it's walking up like this. And now, so you see how both waves here are even. 6 blue, 6 red. So what is the wave going to do from this point?
It's just gonna just stall out.
No. So this is where the even minion rule applies. So the waves are even, but this is the center of the lane right there. If the waves are even, but they're right here, it's going to slow push this way. Anywhere on this side, whichever side of the lane it's on, it will slow push the other way if if the waves are even. And that is because your wave only has to run to here, like right where you are. So your next wave coming is going to get here faster than their wave, and it's going to build up, and it's going to start slow pushing. That makes sense?
Yeah, okay.
So this is what I mean by like it's going to be your turn. You're going to be the one getting the minions now, the slow push, and then that's when you want to actually be looking to trade. Okay, so let's see what you do. So why'd you use Q there?
I guess to push the wave faster.
Okay, yeah, so you can see here you don't want to push it faster. You want to push it as slow as possible because that's going to be the biggest wave possible. And with a huge wave, that's how 1v2s happen. If I had the... Actually, I probably do have it. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm not too great at like wave management and stuff like that. That's like my one big like piece of insight that I lack.
Right, and
Or
that
information, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by wave management. I would assume
Like freezing, slow push,
like how to do it
shove,
or when
like,
to do it. Is that what you mean?
like I know like freezing, like I really have never tried to freeze a wave because I think I I don't even remember the last time I attempted, or maybe I have, but I didn't know I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But like yeah, like I don't really know how to like freeze a wave or like slow, what do you call it? Slow push a wave.
Mm-hmm.
Slow pushing a wave is just when you last hit, right?
Yeah, that is just when you have the advantage and you last hit. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you why you want to be slow pushing. So, let me bring this over. So this is another VOD. This is where I'm playing Swain. Perfect example. Now, look what happens. I died to a bullshit gank, like level 2 gank or something. So I'm against a Kali. And I believe I'm going to die. Yeah, I died to... He's level 3 and I'm level 2. And now look, the wave is crashing on my tower. Just like what happened with you right now. And now I want to push this as slow as possible. I only use my Q there to try to get that CS. And at this point, I'm not going to just be spamming. Like, notice I'm not going to do anything for no reason at all. So I'm not going to use any abilities, and I'm going to push this as slow as I can because it is going to slowly push to her. And the slower it does, the bigger the wave will be. So,
Okay. See, I always thought when the wave was like right against your tower, I thought that was like a bad thing, and you should you should push them away from the tower, or like try to, yeah, not have them like right up against the edge.
so why do you think it would be bad if it's right in front of your tower?
Uh, I don't know. I guess because the minions could stack up quicker. or it leave you. No, well,
Well, basically
I
the
don't know. I guess that's just one of those things I learned like early on. It just, I don't know.
yeah. So I've noticed there's a lot of things that you just like will read or hear or something, but you don't actually think about. You don't actually think about it and try to really understand. Like that's what you need to do. You almost need to flush out everything you've ever learned and start from scratch and like because you just need to. These are all basics, very fundamental things. And if you don't understand why something is the way it is, then you don't really understand it. You don't want to just blindly follow or do things that you hear. So there's no real quote unquote bad lane state like where the minions are. It's not about it's never bad or good. It's just a different scenario. So here I'm slow pushing and I'm pushing as slow as possible, and you're going to see why it's going to be so important here in a sec. So notice I am literally hitting them as last second. I'm not autoing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just slowly pushing. I go for an E on a collie, hit her with some poke, and now I'm still last hitting. And you're going to see I'm going to build up one more wave. I should get one more wave here in a sec. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going to get one more wave because it's coming. It's on the way. Oh, you can see that concept right here that I was just telling you about with Swain with my E.
Yeah.
So I threw it at her because this CS right here, I know she wants to go for that. So I walked away to make her feel like she can walk up for it. And I threw it at that max range, but I know she's going to be in this wave, so it's going to grab her. And it grabs her. And then, so now I have this huge wave. I trade with her like that. And then I have another wave coming because I push so slow. So I have a shit ton of minions with me right now. And then you're going to see why this is so important. So now Viego's here. I don't have flash, but I have this fat wave. So because I slow push with such a big wave, you can see why it's going to be so important.
Because the minions, yeah, they're shitting on Viego.
They're kicking the shit out of him, right? Look, now they're going to kick the shit out of her too. See? So even though I had no flash and only corrupting potion, can still 1v2 on a champ that's really not strong early game. Like Swain's kind of weak early. Because those minions did so much work from the start. And this is why wave management, not just for like recalling purposes, but just for it does so many things for you. And this, let's say Viego's not here. In your elo, people don't know this stuff. They don't know how strong minions are. They don't know how like level differences. So like this is in platinum where they have a small idea, but they don't know enough that they thought they could win this. So in your elo, you're going to have solo laners just straight up jumping in on you like this in your fat wave that you stacked up. And you could just I could sit here and right click this Akali to death. I wouldn't have to use any abilities to kill her. My minions are doing more damage than I did to them, to be honest.
Yeah.
My minions straight up did more damage to Viego here than I did. For sure. Or if not equal. So, there you go. That's a perfect example of... Maybe I should have kept that open. I'm not sure. But anyway. So that is why you want to be slow pushing, especially early on, because you can't push that fast anyway if you tried. Because you don't do that much damage. Okay, so now you're at the point where what you should be doing here is trying to push this last wave using the wave that you're stacking up to you crash it and then looking for a recall because you have a lot of gold. You put a ward on your top side. Now, this isn't that important right now, to be honest. A lot of people think like not dying to ganks is super important. But like it's giving me anxiety watching you right now because you have a ward up here, but you're sitting on the bottom of the lane right here where the enemy jungler could just be standing there.
Yeah, I think I have ward there because like you can see my mouse, I'm moving towards it. So I think I do put a ward.
Right, and that's a mistake because you already have vision of one side. That's all you need. You walking over here to ward this, he could, like I said, he could be sitting there. You're already dead at that point. You're still just running straight at it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about laning. I mean about dying to ganks really. I wouldn't even care if you didn't ward at all. But if you're gonna drop like a ward like this, at the bare minimum, try to stay on that side of the lane where you have your vision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so now you have this big wave. So even though you have lower HP. You should be very like confident here. Like defend your wave, walk up. Like don't let her just like CS for nothing. Okay, throw some abilities. We're not throwing anything. You see what I mean? We're kind of just, you're playing like she's the one with the big wave. And notice here, because you're the one pushing, you're level 5. She's level 4. So she got the level advantage on you early, but now you're pushing to her. So now it's your turn for the level advantages and your turn to be strong. So hit her. Right?
Yeah.
But we're kind of just sitting back here. So, like, that's not too worth it, even though it might seem like it, because you already know he's there, and now you can't trade in lane with it, where it's more important. So notice here, because you didn't push the wave and crash it like I was saying you're supposed to do, and, like, fight with your wave and defend it, now she's starting to slowly push it back to you. That means if you try to recall right now, you're not going to be able to recall, buy, and get back before losing a lot of CS. So now you are back in a bad spot where she has control of the lane. She can recall if she wants after crashing it, but you can't take a recall anymore. You really needed to take that recall. This is way too much gold. Think about how much total gold you have in this game right now. It's like...
I thought, well, normally I try to, I don't know, maybe it's too much gold, but I try to buy Lost Chapter.
Hell no. Hell no.
Oh,
No.
Because I thought it was like first back is normally, like, that's when I get like Lost Chapter. So, but is that too late? That's
way too late.
I guess.
Way
I
too
just
late.
go back and get like an amp tome and like immediately come back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of the time you're going to be taking recalls based off the timing, not how much gold you have. So, like right there, that was a recall timer that you had using when it was your turn to push it in and crash it. That was so if you had like no gold after you crashed it, that's a time where you can look to roam, you can look to get vision, you can hit the tower and try to harass her under tower, but you crash the wave and that's a recall timer. But you were going to crash it there and you had 800 gold. That's a shitload of gold. So that would be your first recall timer and you have to take it right there. Because think about it. After you crash that big wave and then you recall, you come back with items. She's not going to crash on your wave before you get back. So that lets you come back with an item advantage. That's a kill window for you now.
Yeah.
So good recalls turn into kill windows where you're stronger than them.
Okay, I have a clarifying question with the thing we talked about with the pushing a wave.
Yeah.
So should I like, I know you said only last hit until the next wave comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But after that next wave is there, should I start to like hard push it?
No, so like you can.
Or I should let another, like, it should be like 2 waves worth of minions.
It's never going to be a certain amount of waves. It's going to be like, so like I'll show you here. So like right here.
I was thinking about watching the clip you showed me, where it's like at first you were only last hitting, and then the other wave came and you like threw out a Q and like a couple things, and then by the time you were out of her tower, you were just like clearing the wave as fast as possible.
Well, all of my abilities I was using was on her. But yeah, so you can start actually like clearing the wave as fast as possible when it's the wave that you want to like crash the whole thing. So right here for you could have been right here.
Yeah, that's when I would just start like, throw out my E, throw out my Q, and like, okay.
Now it doesn't mean though right here that you just want to like hit the whole wave with your abilities. Like it depends on where like what they're doing and how they're responding to it. Because here, what you can do that would be better. Like you could just be spam autoing on the wave. The minions will help you push very fast on their own. And then if she tries to stop you, then you can just use your abilities on her. And then she's fighting in your big wave. Like I was saying that they'll probably do in this elo. And then you just get a free kill. So you don't really have to think too much about like, okay, this is the wave I want to crash. I want to spam all my abilities. Your minions will help you do it with your slow push. They'll do it fast. You can just auto attack. Unless it's like, okay, I think the enemy jungler... Well, actually, I'm not even going to tell you the exceptions because it's not worth it for you right now. You are on the very base level, like layer 1, the basics of the game that we're trying to get down right now. So there's no point in talking about exceptions. Just focus on trying to do the right thing at the right time. Like when the wave's where it is, because you got pushed in, slowly push it back and crash the wave. Like how you do it, I'm not too worried about. If you spam abilities on the wave, on the last wave, then it is what it is. But just try to focus on the first step, and then you'll learn more as we go. But do you see what I mean by how it is now like the lane is totally in her control now, and she can recall first. Now she can do that thing we just talked about. She can recall and buy items and come back before you can crash. Now she has a kill window.
Yeah, and now I'm sitting there trying to clear out all this
Right.
stuff while she just gets to back for free.
Mm-hmm. So then you just messed up all your CS again. Okay. So now that you have a few points in your abilities. Oh, wait. I actually need to. Hold on a sec. I need to message the next client. 1 second. Okay. So, anyway, so now that you have a few points in your queue, you do a lot more damage to the waves, and like things can start to change. This is where you don't have to slow push as much. Like the more points you get, the less you have to slow push. So here, I would assume she would recall at this point. You have enough damage in your abilities now where you can just hard push one wave, especially if it's not a cannon. So if I was you here, I would E the whole thing, W the whole thing, Q the whole thing, try to clear as fast as possible so you can get a reset before she gets back. So like, see that? This is what I mean. Where it's like you're not like you're taking these things that you've learned, but you don't know why and like how to use that knowledge. So it's like almost completely useless. It's hurting you instead of helping. So you need to focus on what's more important right now, and that is just pushing the wave and shoving it and crashing it.
Okay, so like, yeah, okay, so I guess after hearing your set, I'm like thinking too much about like the macro of the game, where like it doesn't even matter. I should only really just focus on like one thing at a time, I guess.
Well, you should definitely focus on one thing at a time, and definitely on the most basic things, especially like in laning. I don't know if I'd even call the W like macro part. I think that's just a random tip that you read.
I was just trying to see like if it was, if it was cleared a bomb jungle, or, it might have been bomb jungle or just where the jungler might be.
Yeah, and like that's like an understandable thing to think, but it's just like at this point it doesn't matter because you can clear this quickly and get out of here. That's the most important thing, is to clear this so you can reset with her. Do you see why that's more important than where the enemy jungler is? Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I like, to be honest, I don't think you should ever use, like for right now, for you should never use your W to try to find the enemy jungler. Just never do it. Here we go. It looks like go ahead.
Oh, so like I should only use W on like champs or like, like immediate
trading or
I never use.
Yeah, trading or like, trying to push a wave like this. But yeah, something that's more than just trying to find the enemy jungler. So like right here, yeah, W the whole thing, E the whole thing, and we want to be.
I just try to like get a plate and then leave, I think.
So like, yeah,
that's why.
I wouldn't even go for a plate here, because think about this.
Immediately recall.
Yeah, because look, so she's right here. So she's all the way down here, meaning you can push this, and she either has the option to recall after this and then come back to mid, or she just runs back to mid now. If while she's doing all that, if you just hard push this now and recall, she's going to have to get the waves that you're crashing. So then by the time you get back, like she's not going to be able to crash on your tower before you get back. So that's going to give you that item advantage situation that we talked about. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the faster you push this and leave and come back, the better the situation for you. But that means we want this Q. You see how it's just very suboptimal, hitting only a few? We want to put yourself here, hit everything. Use E, hit everything. W, hit as many as you can. You should be able to hit everything if it falls into line, but almost everything. Yeah, you can hit everything here with this W.
I didn't think W did that much damage to minions.
I mean, it doesn't do like an insane amount, but any amount. I mean, think about it. So it might do 60 damage to every minion, but that's 60 times 7 here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, lag. Okay, I was about to say.
Weird. Yeah.
Okay, so now look at this. So she's TPing back to lane. I didn't even know she had TP. I think it's her, but You clear that wave and you're walking forward here. This is how you die. Because she's TPing back, or whoever's TPing here is going to have items over you because you haven't recalled in 1,250 gold. That's insane. So, and now you're wasting all your mana, and now you're kind of just clicking around doing nothing. And now we're recalling. Now she's going to walk up, she can stop you here, and then what happens? Now you don't have no mana, so you can't kill her anyway. And you didn't get your recall off. So now you're stuck again without a base. These are like game-losing mistakes.
I'll be honest, I am not sure why I still stuck around.
It's okay. But do you understand? So everything we've gone through so far, does it all make sense? And do you see why this has been such a disaster of a laning phase so far, even though you're 0-0?
Yeah, because like I had control and I just gave it up for free and gave it to her, and now I'm on the back foot because she has the item advantage. We're even levels now, so we're like I could have pushed the advantage and she would have been under leveled, and like I would have. But yeah, I just gave up the advantage like 100%.
Right.
With her doing nothing for it.
And she's done it too, but this is why this ELO is what it is. So what I want to do here, instead of even going any further, I want to go back to the start and I want you to tell me, I'm going to pause and ask, like, what should you be doing now so we make sure everything makes sense? So right here, what should you be doing?
I should be right up on the minions and looking for any.
So not entirely. So there's two main things here that you should be looking to do. It's okay. You can take your time.
Me. I thought you were going to tell me. Okay.
No. You can take your time and think about it too. No rush.
Yeah. So there's two things I should be doing. I guess I should be not standing as far back and trying to get closer, and then I already said that. so I should be fishing for my E though, right?
That's one thing. You want to use your E because we're at max mana. Yeah. So you want to try to use your E. What's the second thing?
Not to shove the wave too hard.
No, it's okay. Keep thinking about it. And it's more simple than you think.
Yeah, see, I have a habit of overthinking a lot. So
yeah.
Like, let's throw the E out. It has nothing to do with vision, right?
Nope, nothing to do with vision.
Nothing with vision. Does it have anything to do with like my positioning?
Nope.
Like,
it has to do with the wave.
Jesus.
Remember what we talked about with like who controls the lane? Like who decides who's going to control the lane for the first 3 levels?
Who's more aggressive?
Who wins level 1? Like that, it comes down to who wins level 1. And remember we said winning level 1 comes down to trading, of course, but also comes down to who is pushing. So you should just be constantly auto attacking these minions, spamming. Auto, never stop.
Okay. See, I thought it was like you were supposed to just let the minions hit each other and like only last hit in the beginning. I didn't.
No.
Okay.
Never. So
I just need to put that, just flush that out of my brain.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You have a lot of just random things that you think, or not random. You maybe learn them somewhere or whatever, but you have a lot of just things that you think that just aren't true, and like you just need to flush everything out and start from scratch. So
okay, so I should write down like
auto attack the wave.
Yeah, auto minions aggressively levels 1 to 3.
Well, no. So auto, you don't even want. It's not about being aggressive. It's just you're autoing minions because if you push faster than her, like if she doesn't auto and you do, you push faster, meaning you will hit level 2 first. So you're autoing to get the push advantage. That's all.
Okay, so auto minions for level advantage.
Yeah, just for the push advantage. That's all. You're just getting the push advantage because that gives you level advantage, gives you minion advantage. That gives you.
Should it be level 1 to 3 or level like 1 to 6?
Just level 1.
Only level 1.
Yeah, because level 1, if you're pushing more than her, you build up a wave. She can't turn that around. Even if she just tries to like spam abilities on the wave, it won't work. Minion waves are too volatile for that. If you get the push advantage and you hit level 2 first, and then you're going to have more minions than her the whole time. So that means you will hit level 3, even if you stop auto-attacking after you get the push advantage. So, like, I'm never going to tell you, do this from levels 1 to 3 or level 1 to 6. No, like, League doesn't work that way. It's too complicated. You need to be doing something different. The scenario is just going to change at all points. So for level 1, you want to always be trying to auto-attack to get the push advantage, because that will give you level advantage, that will give you minion advantage, that will give you tempo advantage, which we don't need to worry about right now. So, does all that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
So now let's keep going. Okay. So now we can see here, she cleared your first 3 blue minions before you did. So she has the push advantage. So now what should you be thinking with the wave? Now, how are you going to control this wave, and like, what are you going to do for the next 2 levels, basically?
I would guess it's not use my E to clear these out.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Trying to bait out her E or whatever ability. Yeah.
That's something you can do at all stages of the game in any lane. You can always be trying to use movement to bait, but that's going to.
Should I let it go to my tower so I get lane advantage? So I get builds. Yeah.
Yep, you're going to let it push all the way in and crash it, because then it's going to slowly push back to her. So that means you don't have to worry about trying to push or anything like that. This is where you wouldn't be spamming auto attacks. This is where you're going to let it push. That's fine, because you lost the push advantage level 1. So where this comes into play in, like, you know, when people are playing right, is there's champions that are just stronger than others at level 1. So let's look at this. My Sivir game. I am playing an AD champ Sivir. I am much stronger than Swain level 1. So do you see how, like, I have the minion advantage right now? And I'm going to have it though. Like, he can't get it back. It won't work. My wave, just having a little bit of a push advantage, will make that impossible right now. So now I hit level 2 first because of it. So like, he's basically you right now. That he needs to do what I'm telling you you need to do. You just need to let it crash. And then, so now that the wave's crashed, now it's going to start pushing back to me. And like, if you're the one crashing like I just did, look, this is where I could recall, but I don't have any gold to recall to buy anything. So I'm going to go for vision instead. I basically have free time because I crashed the wave. And now it's going to start slowly pushing back to me because, remember, the even minion rule. So the waves are even. It's on his side. It will slowly push back to me. And now notice like how different we have to play now. Look how far up he can be and how far back I have to be. Because he's going to hit level 3 first. And see? So it's his turn. Because I crashed it and now it's coming back to me. Now he's going to have the level advantage. He's the one who's going to be pushing. So I have to sit back here and I have to respect this. And I have to keep playing this way. Now that we're even level, I can look to trade. I still have to be a little careful though, because he's like, as you can see here, he has that slow push building up. Even though my abilities hit like all the minions, like my W is gonna hit all of these. It's not gonna change it. So
yeah, but it came to lane faster and built up quicker because it was on. What do you call it? His minions didn't have to walk as far as yours. So
right, exactly.
Built up faster.
Cool. So it looks like I think we have that down. Okay, so we know you just want to sit back here and let it push in. Let's get to...
Yeah, so don't use Q on the wave right there.
Right, so now do you see, now that you know how you're supposed to be controlling this wave, do you see why this was such a bad Q to use?
Yeah, because I pretty much had this situation like perfect where it's like, okay, just let it build up, but then I was like, no, never mind. I just cleared it. So I just like ruined it, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. So let me just send something real fast to somebody. Okay. Anyway, okay. So now we know why this was bad. So we can actually use this right here. So now that we know how the wave works, so the wave pushed into you, it didn't crash yet, but Zyra left for whatever reason, and now the wave looks like this. So where's it going to go from here?
It's going to slowly push out to him.
Right. So this is what I mean by league, like the situation can change. What should have happened was she should never leave the lane when she did, and then she should push it and crash it. Because she didn't, she actually lost a lot of experience. And you could now be like, oh, the wave's even. You could start auto attacking here and get the level 3 advantage, and then now you're the one who controls it because she gave it to you, because she's also completely misplaying and has no idea what she's doing. So do you see why like you could take control right here?
Oh, and I'm sorry. What was the question?
Do you see why like you can take control of the lane here? Because
because now I have. It's like she basically gave the advantage back to me because she left lane.
right. So what would you do here to like push this advantage? What could you do right now?
Try to poke at her.
No.
Or like,
remember, we actually talked here that if you trade with her right now, you lose. So what could you do to make it so you win?
I'm drawing a blank.
It's okay. You can think about it.
Would it be to let one more wave come and then push in and crash into a tower?
No, but let me ask you this. How many minions do you need to kill right now to hit level 3?
2.
So how many minions does it take to hit level 2, just in general? Do you know how many?
No.
Okay, so to hit level 2, it is going to take... It's after you kill the first minion in the second wave, so 7 minions. Level 3 will be the second minion in the third wave. This cannon's always the third wave. So this is the third wave. Notice here, one of those minions already died. So that means this next minion will get you level 3. Okay. Because she left the lane and gave you control of it, she lost her minion advantage and the wave's basically even. You're both, actually, because she left, she technically probably isn't 1 minion from 3, but just let's pretend she is. Let's pretend she's 1 minion from 3, you're 1 minion from 3, because the wave's even right here. So if you focused on just hitting 1 minion down as fast as possible with autos, that will give you level 3. And if she doesn't respect that, because she probably doesn't know she probably doesn't know you're 1 minion from level 3, and she's just standing up here, now you hit level 3 and you can go in, and that's a kill window. Yeah. So the thing here is, first, is understanding the situation when it comes to the wave. The wave says the wave's even, so you need to see, okay, she lost her minion advantage after she was pushing because she left for whatever fucking reason. So that gave you the chance to even up the wave like this, and then you could focus 1 minion down so you get level 3 first, and that gives you total control of the lane. If she respects it and she just walks away when you're level 3, then yeah, then you would go to the thing that you were saying, where you'd bring another wave in and then crash them. That would work.
Okay.
But for right now, you need to get that advantage first, and that's by focusing one minion down. That'll give you the push advantage by one minion and give you level 3, so if she tries to walk up and do anything, you can punish her for it. Does all that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So right there, see? Level 3. You're level 3 before her. She actually was 1 minion from level 3, meaning I'm pretty sure she was standing right here this whole time when your camera was all weird. I think she was just standing there. I don't know. But, so there you go. So right there, you had a very small window. If it could have been a bigger window, but, so this window right here, you could throw E here when she's trying to go for this, and you'll grab her, and you can win this trade before she hits level 3. But, and like, it could have been a bigger window if you just focus that minion down first. That's like basically what we were getting at. But since she's using her abilities and you're not using anything, now that whole advantage is gone. You didn't push for level 3. Like, you didn't just auto a minion to get level 3 first, which would let you control the whole wave and prevent her from doing what she did. And then she's just randomly using abilities trying to hit you, which is basically accidentally or indirectly pushing the wave. And since you're not using anything at all, now we're back in a situation where she has the advantage and is coming to you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Cool. Okay, so now we're here. Now, what should you be doing at this point?
Letting the wave push back to my tower.
Yep, perfect. Here we go. Now we're learning. Good, good, good.
So like, I shouldn't even touch the wave right here. I should just be like, I should basically just be sitting under my tower or like close to it and just letting it push.
Well, you can sit up here and do what you're doing. Like you autoing the wave right now isn't going to change much for it. It will have an effect, but nothing that you need to be worried about at the moment. That's like way down the line. But basically, yeah, you want to let it push. Don't try to trade with her too much right now because she has the minion advantage. She will win. So yeah, you want to just try to get last hits without getting hit by her stuff and letting the wave push in. Because like, see where you're standing right now, this is just dangerous. She has all these minions and you're standing all the way up here for no reason. There's no CS to get.
Yeah.
So like you needed to, you see, you're trying to trade there. Like she could get hit by that. It doesn't even matter. She could just let that hit her and just go in. And you'll lose very hard. Because she has way too many minions. So she could have punished you really hard there. Alright. Waves crashing. CSing under tower. We already talked about you kind of ruined all the CS with the Q. So now at this point, what should we be doing? I'm looking for two things here.
Recall. Shove and recall?
Let's bring it more specific, more like right in the moment. What do we need to be focusing on?
Throw an E out?
Well, she's not here.
No. Okay. So right in this very moment.
So look at the wave.
So should I shove there?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Would I use my Q on it and try to clear it real quick?
That's the same thing as shoving. So no.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay. Keep thinking. Remember what the stuff we went over, like with my Swain gameplay.
Yeah.
What I did in this exact scenario.
But in your gameplay, Swain wasn't in lane, right?
I was playing Swain.
No. Wait, you were playing Swain? Oh, I thought you were talking about the Sivir game.
No. Remember when I was playing Swain in this exact scenario, what did I do?
Oh, you were what do you call it? You weren't hitting anything. You were just last hitting.
And what is that doing? What is another word for that in this scenario?
Slow pushing.
Slow pushing, right. And why was I slow pushing? What does that do for me?
Let the wave build up, and then by the time she gets back to wave, crash it.
So yeah, it lets the wave build up, which will defend me if someone tries to fight.
Because then if they gank you, you have all that minion aggro.
Right. We don't have to think about the gank as much. Let's think about it just without the jungler for now.
Yeah, just with her, like if she tries to go in on you,
Right.
you like throw out, you use your abilities, but then also like all the minion aggro will do a whole bunch of damage.
Right. So it defends you because it's a ton of minions. And then it also helps you push so you can get that recall that we're talking about. But if you just try to push here and you just spam your abilities, what's going to happen is you're basically going to push it like not fast enough to where you could crash it. It's going to be right in front of their tower. So you're not going to have that huge wave that you want. And it's going to be right in front of their tower where the tower is going to basically help them thin out the wave. And then you're going to be in a spot where it's frozen in front of their tower and you're very gankable. If you slow push here, you build up a big wave where they can't stop it no matter what. And then you're going to get to that point where you're right in front of the tower, but you have a big wave and then your wave is just going to help you quickly push it in. And then you're going to reset. Now, there's one other very small thing here that you need to do. It has nothing to do with the wave. Has nothing to do with the camera or anything. It's something we talked about at the very start.
Is it mouse movement?
No.
So it's not mouse movement, it's not camera, it's not wave. Potion?
Potion.
Yeah.
Bingo. So you see, like, this HP, this is a lot of missing health.
Yeah.
So you need to pop a pot here because you're also starting to push it towards her. That is when it's going to be your turn, remember. You're going to be strong. You want to look to trade with her with your big wave. You want to defend it. So you want to have as much HP as possible for that. And in case you do get ganked, you know, having more HP, you might be able to survive. So, like, there's no reason to just be sitting at this much HP. Okay, so now what? All right, so now we're going to let this push in. Okay, so at this point, what do we want to be doing?
Being on the minions and trying to get out, trying to either bait an ability or land my E.
Okay, let's, what I'm looking for is more, like, what should you be doing to make sure this wave doesn't die?
Just like be on the wave.
It's not about
Or be on the other side, the other half of the lane.
It's less about where you're standing. It's more just about your mentality. Like what are you gonna do to defend this wave?
Uh,
It's probably more simple than you think.
yeah. So it's not landing an ability.
Well, that's part of it.
Or it's not. Try to all in on her? No, it's not bad.
That can work. No, that if she takes an all in with you, now you win. That's the whole point here. You have the big wave. So the answer
I have the lane advantage.
Right. So the answer I'm looking for is just fight her. That's how you're going to defend it.
Okay.
Defend this wave. That's all. That's what you want to be doing here. That's why also popping that potion was important.
Yeah, I think that's what I meant by like being on the wave is like just being like, you know, just like she basically don't let her CS.
Yeah, that's
right
part of it. Not like contesting her CS is another part of this, but we're kind of. I need to make sure you're understanding why this wave is important and all that stuff before I'm even talking about contesting her CS and stuff. But when you say be on the wave, you know, that doesn't really mean much to me. You know what I mean? I don't really know what that means. But yeah, basically defend this wave is all we're looking for. Defend this wave. Like, see how far back you are here. She's just hitting shit right now.
Yeah, I should be like right. I should be in front of the casters.
Yeah, you want to be like right here.
Yeah.
Now, thing is, if we're going to get real nitty gritty, is that like this minion right here is about to die, and then these minions are going to all walk forward. So when that happens, you want to make sure they all re-aggro so you can be standing like behind this line. So let's just like let this play a little bit, and then because you don't want to take all those minion aggro. Now here at this point, like you want to walk up here, you want to be autoing minions, so it's pushing, so you keep pushing. And not let her hit minions for free. All that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, yeah, defend this wave. Because, like, look, you're not even touching it right now. You're not touching it right now, and she's touching it. She's autoing shit. And your wave is still out pushing her. Look how fast it's pushing on its own without you doing anything at all. It's still pushing. So like that's even though her minions she's using abilities, her plants are doing damage, you're not doing anything, and you're still out pushing her, because that's what I mean by minion waves are very volatile. So knowing how much damage your wave does, yeah, don't let her do this. Hit her.
Yeah, I think because like maybe I'm still like learning Swain, or I was still learning. I think maybe I'm like underestimating how much my abilities do, because I know later on his damage can get nutty, but I think I underestimate the damage I'm doing early.
Well, to be honest, has nothing to do with who you are here. You could be Yumi. I've made a video on me playing Yumi mid versus Lux. You know how I won lane versus Yumi mid versus Lux? Using this concept, these concepts, these fundamentals. Like, I don't have to land any abilities here. I can just auto her and win, because if she autos me back, I win. Because I have the wave. That's all that matters. This is what I mean by fundamentals that apply to any champ. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter who they are. You have the minions, and they are much stronger than both of you right now. So you use those to push this wave, to trade with her if she tries to trade, and to crash so you can recall, buy an item, come back before she crashed on your tower, and then now you have an item advantage. See what I mean?
Yeah. That's definitely write down. I need to recall more often.
Well, see, the problem with writing something down like recall more often, because I know what you're meaning when you write that. And like that's like not a bad thing to start with, I guess, in your head. Like, I need to recall more often, but it's more about understanding recall timings. Remember, it's not just like randomly recall. It's all about the timing. You're going to be wanting to recall when you crash a wave on the tower. That is like your recall timer. That means if you recall after crashing, you won't miss anything.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. Like like most of the times whenever I crash a wave, I try to like recall. That's why I did. I do it a little later on. I crashed the wave and then try to recall, but then she comes up and pokes me.
Right, because you didn't actually crash the wave and recall. You crashed and then tried to hit her and hit the tower, and then you walked away and tried to recall. When you just needed to crash and back off and recall right away. Yeah. So like, see this Nautilus ganking you at level 2? If you defended your wave here and you had that big wave, you 1v2 them very easily. Wouldn't even be close.
Yeah, well, wouldn't he, if he was aiming for me, he'd aim at one of the minions, or he'd actually successfully get in, right?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Let's say if I was... Oh, it doesn't matter?
No. You could just, like, so...
How would I 1v2, though? With just me with, like, no items and...
I just showed you.
2v1.
I just showed you an example of me doing it. And it was against a level 4 Viego and a level 4 Akali. This is a level 2 Nautilus support.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it now.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but I defended my wave. I didn't let Akali. I didn't just walk. Like, look what happens when you have the minion advantage. Look how far back you are.
Yeah, I'm standing like, yeah.
You're playing.
I should be right there. Like, should I be like where that rock is? Like where near my mouse is? I should like be there.
You can be in any of this area, but you need to. It's more about. It's less about where you're standing. It's more about not letting her do what she wants to do, because you are in control. You have the wave. So if you walk up to her right now to here and you fight her and she turns and uses abilities, you're going to win. She has to back away. She has to. She will die to the minions. And let's say she uses everything and just walks away, and you lose this much HP. That's fine. She now has no abilities, and she has no abilities that she can use on the wave, and then you can push this wave and crash it. And then you get to reset before her. It doesn't matter how much HP you had. You get to reset before her so you can come back before her. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I showed you me 1v2ing on Swain, who is not strong early. But because I defended my wave, walked up with it, and when they showed up, I just stood in the wave and fought them. And so this Nautilus showing up right here, if you defended this wave, you see she's just doing whatever she wants. She thinned this whole wave out. Now, like, this isn't enough. These 4 minions? No, that's not enough to 1v2. But if you actually had the wave and you see Nautilus coming up, that's like where that's what happens that's why Smurfs can win. Like that's why I can go and win almost every game in low elos, because I see Nautilus coming here and I'm just like, oh, this is a free kill. They're bringing me free kills. They think, oh, it's 1v2, but no, these minions are worth 3 of us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, and that's a level 2 Nautilus. To be honest, if he landed that Q there, he dies.
Oh.
Because you have this whole fresh wave here.
Yeah. Maybe I wasn't like, maybe I was thinking the thing where it was like, oh yeah, 1v2, I lose.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
but
That's why
yeah.
That's my whole, like, you know, that's the whole thing I'm trying to do here with you, is to show you that scenarios change, levels are very important, minions are very, very important early on.
Yeah, see, I've definitely been using that because I remember last session you told me if they're like, if I'm 1 level above them, like I should fight them.
Always.
And I've been doing that a lot more. I've been way more like aggressive if I have like a 1 or 2 level. If I have a 1 or 2 level advantage, I always, if they try to fight me, I always go in.
Good. That's good. And you know,
I
I'd love
actually keep the notes open. Like whenever I go into a ranked game, I have like a notepad with the notes, and I keep it open.
That's
on my
good.
second monitor, just so I like always look back at it. So.
And I'd love to give you more like always do this things. It's just there not many of those exist really in this game, because the game can switch or can change, so the scenarios can always be so different. But I think we covered a very good amount today. And this is gonna go ahead.
I'd say quick question. All this stuff you're telling me about, like wave management and stuff, does it also apply to top? Because I've heard,
yes,
I've heard again that top lane's like a very, as far as like waves and management and stuff, it's like way. I've heard it's different.
It's not.
Okay.
Top lane is literally actually everything I've been. So top lane is it's the lane of slow pushes. It's just slow pushing back and forth the whole lane.
Yeah, because like I think because like Cho'Gath, right? It's like I like Cho'Gath. He's my like highest win rate champ, but like I feel like top lane's like a lot more difficult. I don't know why. I don't know.
No,
if
it's not.
Chance or like I don't know.
It's more volatile. It's like the snowballing is really rough in top lane. Like
yeah,
Riven,
it's like if you lose early top, like your whole next 15 minutes is fucked.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to wave management, it's actually very simple. It's really just slow pushing back and forth. That's all.
Okay.
Everything we talked about here, this whole like it crashes and slow pushes back the other way. Yep, it's the same exact thing.
That back and forth. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the stuff we've gone over today, this is all, you know, very basic fundamental stuff, but it's not going to just happen. It's not just going to all click as soon as you start playing. It's going to take a little bit, but when it'll start to click when you are like thinking about, okay, what is this wave going to do? And then you're going to try to defend the wave and you're going to kill someone because they're not going to respect the wave. And you're going to be like, holy shit. Like, wow, I can't believe how well that worked. Then things will start clicking and you're going to be like, okay, so the minions are this strong, even when I didn't realize they were this strong.
Yeah, so I definitely, coming out of this, I definitely need to focus on like very early level laning, because I feel like that's where I'm really struggling right now.
It's okay. That's where literally everyone I coach struggles. I don't think I coach a single person that knows how to lane properly in the early levels. So
okay.
But this is definitely like, yeah, these are very basic fundamental things, like the first things you should ever learn when it comes to laning. So I hope you wrote everything down, like throwing skill shots when they're going for last hits.
Yeah,
all the stuff with the wave and stuff.
Yes, I can send you. I'll send you a screenshot real quick of what I wrote down for this session, and you can tell me if there's anything.
Sure. Yeah.
And I can send you the whole list if you want, but.
Let me see.
But the first one's what I wrote down for this session, and then the second one's the whole list, including the last session.
Auto minions aggressively. Oh, okay, that was the last one. Okay, cool. So yeah, good thing is, you know, since I streamed this is recorded. So like you can literally just pull it open, and watch it again, make sure, because we went over Really, really important stuff here. Almost everything I've talked about was something.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot to take in, try to
Yes.
digest. Yeah.
And that's the thing with this game. This game's not actually like at this point, it's not actually difficult, quote unquote. I don't want to say that meaning you're like an idiot. It's not about that. It's just there's so much. Like
Yeah,
it's
like it goes so deep because like I feel like yeah, I've if I was watching that Civer game you're playing, I wouldn't understand half the stuff. I would just think like, oh, he's last hitting minions, and like
right.
the psychology goes like way deeper
There's like I
than
said,
than like surface level and like watching.
right. Like I said, every little thing I'm doing, every movement, every click is for a reason. I'm not just clicking back and forth. I'm clicking into a specific range and clicking out of it. And every ability I'm using for a reason. I'm throwing it a certain way if I don't want to hit minions when I'm throwing it. Like there was a few Qs I threw that I didn't want to hit the wave. I threw it to the side of it. Like that's what's with this game. It's if you're ever watching VODs to try to improve of high level players, like challenger players, everything they're doing is for a reason. So
Yeah, but like see, is there any like do you recommend any like create like content creators like channels and stuff for like understanding like wave management and stuff? Because I feel like when you watch like high level players, they don't really explain what they're doing. There's it's so ingrained in them, they just like do it. They don't even think about it. They just like know, but they don't really say it out loud. They just kind of do it, and it works. But if you're just somebody watching and don't know the concepts, you would just be like, oh, they're just last hitting, or like you wouldn't know.
well, with my videos on Skill Capped, I always explain everything I'm doing, exactly why I'm doing it. So yeah, if you watch any, like, I mean, I can probably find one real fast. Let me see. So like,
Is I watched the six low elo mistakes losing you lane. I watched that one. I watched
so like,
I watched a few of these. Yeah.
well, like my videos, which actually don't go up on YouTube as much anymore because my videos are better for people that like really, really want to learn. They're not as good for YouTube views because YouTube's just a fucked up place. So like, I think this is one right here. Yeah. So game down. So let me see. Lane, but the main point is. So where is this? Oh, this is low elo. Fuck. So I mean, this one right here you could watch, which actually should probably help you. Like this one is where I take a bunch of low elo games where they're in counter matchups, but I point out all the different things they're doing wrong and like what they should be doing with the wave and why they should be doing it with the wave and all that stuff. Like the way I make my videos, I explain all of these things that you're looking for always. That's like my style. I'm less gimmicky for YouTube. So if you find my videos, everything should be explained. If there's ever something that wasn't explained, you can ask me and be like, why did you do this? And it could be a slip by me.
I have a quick question about like when you're in when you're facing like a hard counter. Like I think yesterday I was playing Cho'Gath top against the Yorick, and I was just absolutely like losing hard to Yorick. Should I just like when it's something like that where it's like I get so like out just like ability diff or like champ diff
Doesn't
should
exist.
I just like okay, well, yeah, but like in that situation where I'm so far behind, should I still try to like should I just like not engage with them at all and just like stay far behind, or should I try to like should I still act normally?
Okay, well,
I don't
we're
know if
talking
that
about
question made any
we're
sense.
kind of no, it did. It's just there was two different things here. You asked about a hard counter and you asked about being behind. You said being behind. If you're behind straight up, no, you're probably not going to want to fight them because you've already lost. You've already done the most important part wrong and you lost, and now it's really, really hard to come back, especially in a hard counter. If you're in a really hard counter and you lose, then it's like impossible. Even for me, it's hard for me to come back. But no matter what the counter, no matter how hard of a counter it is, actually the video I just sent you, is why matchups don't mean anything in low elo, because counters don't matter. There's too many fundamental errors with all this stuff that I taught you today. Wave management, playing with minions, recalls, all that stuff to make the matchup mean anything. So yes, even Cho versus York, you could kick the shit out of a York easily. Just
Yeah,
using
I don't know
fundamentals.
if that is a hard like counter, but it felt like it. I felt like I was just getting
Well,
destroyed.
a lot of the players really struggle versus York in general. Like, do you even know what York's abilities do?
Yeah, yeah. The Q is like it's like an empowered ability, and it builds up ghouls,
Okay.
and then whenever he throws the E out, usually he follows that up with a Q, so the minions jump right away.
So you,
W's the wall, R is a maiden.
so you're saying if he uses E and then Q, then the minions will jump.
I thought so, because normally at least when I've
Right.
first time, he'll throw out the key, he'll throw out the E before he even summons the ghouls.
Right. So this is
And
what I
then
mean
it seems
by
like they jump right on me.
this is what I mean by you don't really know what he does. So his E it's his most important ability because when he throws it, if it lands, any graves around and any minions he has will immediately jump to you. So if he misses, he has no way of making those minions target you. So
Wait,
if he
does it summon the graves too?
Yeah,
Like, so it automatically summons and they jump.
yes, it will summon the little
Okay,
graves
I
and then
thought
they'll
that was
jump on
just-
you.
I thought that was just them doing it manually.
No. So
I
this
didn't even realize that.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So like he's a big knowledge check, basically. Same with
Yeah.
Alawi. Most players don't know how to play against Alawi, and she's like the
Oh,
worst
yeah,
champ in the
yeah,
game.
She's a pain in the ass.
Right, and she's, like I said, she's the worst champ in the game. So Yorick, Alawi, they're like two of the biggest knowledge checks. Yorick, yeah, if you dodge his E, you can fight him all day long. He's
Yeah.
useless without it. Unless he has a big wave, of course, and that's more fundamental stuff. But yeah, this is what I mean, where counters just don't mean anything. It's all about just fundamentals and understanding what the champions do, and that will carry you far enough in any matchup.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
All right.
but
I
yeah,
understand.
we got a lot of good stuff here that we went over today. It's going to take a little bit, like I said, to apply some of this stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I just need to like grind games and just focus. I just need to like just like drill the concepts into my head and just over and over until it just clicks. And I feel like
Well, I think something really good for you is, like, to be honest, is just try to understand everything. Don't worry about winning. Don't worry about losing. Don't worry about, drilling the concepts or anything. Just try to understand why everything is happening the way it is. Don't autopilot. Like, okay, why is this wave going where it is? Do you know? Do you, like, at all points in the lane, do you know where the wave is going? You should. At any time, know exactly, if no one touches the wave, where it will go.
should I be
And
thinking that in the game, or should I
Yeah.
do that like if I'm looking back on the bot? Should I be thinking that?
yeah, in the game, you should, like, because if you don't, then you can be like, okay, I'll go check. I'll go back into this later and like try to understand why it was happening. But every game, take it one step at a time. Okay, level 1, what do I want to do? Level 2, what do I want to do? Where's the wave going right now? Should I be defending this wave? Should I be trying to crash and recall? All that stuff you need to be knowing at all points. No autopilot, no random things, no random abilities. Know exactly why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, good luck. Hit me up if you got
Thanks a lot.
questions, and I'll see you if you get another session.
Alrighty. All right. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, bro. Peace.
All right.